Dear students of grade 10, welcome to this lesson where we will discuss the second part of Unit 1. I hope you enjoy this lesson. In this lesson, we will discuss together the use of the adjective, and we will know how to use comparative and superlative adjectives in detail. So, the learning objective for this lesson is that students will be able to use comparative and superlative adjectives. As a warm up, I would like to ask you some questions, and I want you to concentrate with the adjectives written in red. The first question is, who is taller, you or your brother Salim? Which is easier, English or Arabic? Which is more interesting, football or tennis? Which is the most difficult subject this year? If you answered these questions correctly, you will understand the meaning of an adjective, the meaning of a comparative, the meaning of a superlative adjective. The first part of this lesson is comparative adjectives. We use comparatives when we are talking about two things. When we are talking about two things, not three or more, we can use comparative adjectives to describe the difference between two things. We can use comparative adjectives to describe the difference between two things only. Here in this table, we have some short adjectives and how to change them into comparative adjectives, generally by adding er to the main adjective followed by than. For example, long, longer than, tall, taller than, small, smaller than, old, older than, good, better than, bad, worse than, and so on. Now, students, look at these adjectives, which we call long adjectives or adjectives which have more than one syllable. And to make a comparative degree from this adjective, we use more or less before the adjective and than after the adjective. For example, expensive, more expensive than, less expensive than, difficult, more difficult than, or less difficult than, interesting, more interesting than, or less interesting than, beautiful, more beautiful than, or less beautiful than, and so on. Now, dear students, let's study together these sentences, and I want you to concentrate with the underlined words. The first sentence, regular TV screens are larger than computer screens. The second one, watching TV is more popular than playing video games. The third one, reading books is better than watching TV. My marks in physics are better than my marks in Arabic. Watching football on TV is more interesting than watching swimming. Again, larger than, more popular than, better than, more interesting than, we call these comparative adjectives. Now, students, with the second type of adjectives, which is superlative. Superlative adjectives. We use this type to describe the extreme quality of one thing in a group of things. We can use superlative adjectives when talking about three or more things, not two things. We use to form a superlative adjective, we use the before the adjective and we add est after the short adjective. For example, long, the longest, tall, the tallest, young, the youngest, happy, the happiest, but, good, the best, bad, the worst, old, the oldest, easy, the easiest, and so on. With long adjectives, to make a superlative, we use the most or the least before the adjective. For example, expensive, the most expensive or the least expensive. Difficult, the most difficult or the least difficult. Beautiful, the most beautiful or the least beautiful, and so on. Look at these examples and concentrate with the underlined words. The first example, Canada, China, and Russia are big countries, but Russia is the biggest. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Reading books is the best hobby. The most popular TV shows are comedy shows. Facebook is the most successful social media platform. So we have the biggest, the highest, the best, the most popular, the most successful. All these are superlative adjectives. Dear students, this is the end of our lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed it very much. Till we meet again, I hope you the best of luck and goodbye.